What if I told you that 2025 might be the year that finally delivers on every sci-fi gaming promise we've been waiting for? While last year had its moments, the lineup heading our way next year is packed with games that could redefine entire genres. From mind-bending space exploration to companions that feel genuinely alive, we're about to dive into the most ambitious sci-fi titles that everyone from indie developers to AAA studios, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But here's the thing. Some of these games might not even make it to 2025, and there's one title on the list that's already causing controversy before it's even released. In The Alters, players step into the shoes of a space miner who is confronted with various life-altering choices and their potential consequences. The game plays with the concept of parallel universes. Each choice you make as your character creates an alternate version of yourself, reflecting the different paths of your life. These alternate versions, called alters, represent various outcomes of the same person, showing different facets of your personality, life, and choices. One of the first standout gameplay mechanics is choice and consequence. The core of the game revolves around making decisions that influence not just the narrative, but also your self-perception. These choices lead to the creation of different alters, each representing a what-if scenario. The alter gives players the chance to interact with different aspects of your character's identity. As the game progresses, you can see how these different lives converge and diverge. Each alter lives in a separate reality, and the game allows players to interact with them in meaningful ways. These realities feel like separate, distinct worlds, each shaped by different decisions and circumstances. The Alters is heavily focused on its story and emotions with minimal combat or action elements. The player's primary focus is to explore the narrative, ask deep questions, and experience the emotional weight of each choice. And lastly, this game features a distinct art style and reflective soundtrack that complements the narrative. Much like the first game, The Outer Worlds 2 is set in an alternate future where corporations have taken over colonization of space and control much of the human life. The game will once again explore themes of corporate greed, free will, and personal choice, but with more expanded mechanics, new storylines, and fresh characters. The Outer Worlds 2 will feature a more expansive open world compared to the first game. While details about the exact setting are still scarce, players can expect multiple planets to explore, each with its own unique environments, factions, and storylines. The game promises more freedom in how you approach these areas as well, with plenty of room for exploration, side quests, and player-driven choices. Now let's talk about combat. The sequel will likely improve the combat system, building on the first game's mix of first-person shooting and RPG mechanics, similar to Fallout. Expect more weapons, abilities, and combat strategies, as well as the return of the tactical pause system, which allows you to slow time and plan your moves. There will also be more ways to customize your character's appearance, abilities, and gear. You can expect more in-depth dialogue options, giving you more freedom in how you shape your character's personality and narrative arc. Now, everybody loves a good companion in a game, am I right? Well, in this game, it'll feature a range of colorful and quirky companions, each with their own backstory and motivations. Your interactions with them will influence both the relationship with you and the overall story progression. The dynamic of having these characters along for the ride adds a lot of depth to the experience and makes each playthrough its own roller coaster ride. And if you love a good laugh, expect the same witty, satirical writing that The Outer Worlds pokes fun at corporal culture, consumerism, and the absurdities of life. The tone of the game will blend humor with serious themes, delivering narrative that's both thought-provoking and entertaining. Given the success of the first game and the high-level anticipation for the sequel, The Outer Worlds 2 is expected to push the limits of what made the first game so beloved. Okay, I got another survival/crafting game, but don't be discouraged because this one is unique. You ever heard of that game called Project Zomboid that came out over 10 years ago and is super popular today? Well, you could get the sci-fi version of that game. Introducing Dandelion Void. This game practically plays like Project Zomboid. Just from the looks of it also, I mean, how can you not say it's inspired by it? Explore through jungle-infested corridors, scavenging for resources and crafting tools to ensure survival, and be careful because there are environmental hazards. There's rooms exposed to the vacuum of space or filled with radiation. I mean, anything and everything is trying to kill you. And it isn't a Zomboid-style game without base building. You can establish safe zones by cutting back aggressive plant life and fortifying areas to create habitable spaces. And a big feature of this game is a dynamic life support system which allows you to manage fluctuating life support systems. Unexpected failures can lead to extended periods without essential resources, so you better be on your A game and look out for anything that is trying to harm you. Oh yeah, and back to those aggressive plants. These things are out to get you. I don't know, I just thought this was a super cool idea to take the Zomboid recipe and kind of flip it into a sci-fi type game. And if Zomboid's successful, I don't see why this one couldn't be either. They just have to nail the core aspects of the game in order to keep gamers playing their game. Okay, this next one here is more for my indie lovers / co-op gamers. The Long Fall Home is more of a platformer type game where you play with your buddies, you load it up, and you try to see who can survive jumping through all kinds of obstacles and puzzles. It actually looks pretty fun. You can navigate through shifting environments and gravity-defying obstacles, solve challenges using momentum, object manipulation, and teamwork. And speaking of teamwork, you can team up with up to 3 other players to tackle these puzzles. And the variety of exploration and worlds in this game is kind of crazy. Now apparently there's also some type of small narrative to the story, and it's a bit of a mystery. Something along the lines of your characters were asleep for a very long time and you try to figure out what happened to them and where they are. So this could definitely be a fun co-op game if you enjoy that type of style. I know I do. I would probably play this, and I just want to get it out there for people who enjoy that style of gameplay. I just know that there are some gamers out there who enjoy base building and survival / crafting style games. I mean, they're everywhere. Based on real NASA imagery, explore a vast procedurally generated Martian terrain, featuring a realistic day and night cycle and atmospheric conditions. And from looking from the trailer, it looks like there's actually some hardcore survival mechanics. Everything from managing your vital resources such as oxygen, food, water, and energy, the basics. Players must contend with hazards like dust storms, radiation zones, and equipment malfunctions. Now the core of this game is all about building your base and crafting. You can construct and customize modular bases using materials scavenged from the surface and remnants of previous missions. Develop essential infrastructure like hydroponic farms, oxygen generators, and power grids. Oh, and it's not base building if you can't alter the terrain. Implement strategies to gradually alter the Martian terrain, making it more hospitable for human life. And once again, you can collaborate with up to 3 other players in online co-op. Tackle challenges, share resources, and build a thriving colony together. Next up we have Aphelion. Now I love me some third-person action adventure games, and this one has some elements of parkour in it, so this could be interesting. Players alternate between controlling 2 characters, each offering unique gameplay experiences. One focuses on traversal and exploration, utilizing tools like a grappling hook and oxygen tank. The other, though injured, engages in investigative and stealth-based gameplay. You can explore and navigate through frozen landscapes of Persephone, facing environmental hazards and uncovering the planet's secrets. There seems to be an unknown threat lurking beneath the ice, and back to those stealth mechanics, you can employ stealth tactics to avoid or confront these dangers, adding a layer of suspense to the gameplay. And if you combine all those, you're presented with a cinematic experience. There's a story-driven adventure with high-quality visuals and voice acting. And I think there's a couple of Hollywood stars that voice act for this. I could be wrong, don't quote me. Developed by Naughty Dog, this action-adventure game is set thousands of years into the future. Players follow bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn, stranded on a remote planet while tracking a legendary criminal syndicate. The game features advanced combat mechanics and a rich narrative. And I gotta say, this game really looks cool as far as the aesthetics go. I mean, the retro 1980s feel just really caught my eye. And I kind of hope you can play synthwave type music while you're killing aliens or whatever this game is really headed towards, because not much is really revealed on this. And it's interesting because there was a lot of controversy and hate about this game. Not even released yet. There's hardly any gameplay out. So, I mean, people will just find something quick and easy to complain about. And that's the case for this. Directive 8020 casts players into the role of an employee working for a vast corporate-controlled future society. As the game progresses, players will uncover a web of conspiracies, hidden agendas, and morally gray decisions that challenge not only the society they live in, but the very nature of humanity itself. Some twisted stuff. The game's central mystery revolves around Directive 8020, which is a top-secret project that promises to change the course of human history. As the protagonist, you will need to navigate a galaxy filled with powerful corporations, lost technologies, and otherworldly threats. This game emphasizes a story-first approach, with players unraveling complex, deep narrative layers through exploration and interaction with the environment. And similar to the previous games mentioned on this countdown, this game is designed to allow for a lot of player choice, with branching dialogues, decision-making, and consequence that affect the direction of the plot. Another key strength of this game is world building, offering a mix of dystopian sci-fi and retro-futuristic aesthetics. The settings will likely include corporate offices, space stations, and alien worlds, all designed with detailed environments and immersive atmospheres. The game encourages players to piece together clues and uncover hidden messages, log files, and artifacts that lead to revelations about Directive 8020. And of course, they're going to throw in a puzzle here and there. These could include decoding alien languages, hacking systems, or solving environmental puzzles. I'm really expecting the sound design of this game to be an integral part of the experience. Have you ever wanted a mission-based co-op game that has handcrafted levels and randomized events? Look no further than Jump Ship. There's currently a demo on this game, so definitely go check it out after this video. Explore planetary surfaces on foot and the vacuum of space, all without loading screens. Upgrade, maintain, and repair your spaceship by scavenging resources, reinforcing defenses, and adjusting power systems to adapt to the challenges. Now, as a crew of the spaceship with your other buddies, you are going to have to play a collaborative role. Work together with your crew to overcome obstacles, extinguish fires, repair systems, and engage in combat, with no fixed classes allowing for flexible role assignments. So this is definitely a fun little game here that you can play with your friends, and it just has some cool FPS elements, and I'm curious to know just how seamless it is from ship to foot, because that is huge in a lot of space games. So definitely go check out the demo. I will link it down below so you guys can go try it out for yourself. Set in a war-torn landscape, Hell Is Us takes place in an alternate, dystopian version of Europe. The game's setting is a blend of dark, medieval, and contemporary elements, giving it a distinct surreal and gothic feel. Hey, that rhymed. You play as a character navigating a world that seems both unfamiliar and hostile. The story will likely tackle themes of humanity's darker instincts, war, and survival, with the player taking on the role of a lone protagonist trying to uncover the truth about the world and their place in it. There are no clear quest markers or objectives, meaning players will need to rely on environmental storytelling and their own curiosity to uncover the truth about the world. One of the defining elements of Hell Is Us is the psychological horror. The game thrives on tension, mystery, and anxiety. As you explore a world filled with strange occurrences, twisted landscapes, and dark, surreal imagery, expect the horror to come not only from the external threats, but also from the character's internal struggle and the eerie, oppressive feeling of the environment. Now, I played the demo of this game, and the combat is definitely a focus here. The combat in Hell Is Us seems to be gritty, direct, and hard-hitting, with an emphasis on resource management and survival. The art direction of Hell Is Us is one of the game's standout features. The lighting and weather effects will likely play a significant role in setting the tone. Chronos: The New Dawn takes place in a futuristic universe, where a cataclysmic event has drastically altered the course of human civilization. The game's title and setting hint at the exploration of time and destiny, suggesting that players will encounter themes related to the manipulation of time, the downfall of a once great civilization, and the exploration of ancient powers. You will take on the role of a lone protagonist on the quest to uncover the secrets of an ancient cosmic power, possibly tied to the entity Chronos. The game blends sci-fi aesthetics with mythological themes, creating a unique narrative experience that explores the intersection of human ambition and the cosmic unknown. Players will journey across various alien landscapes and futuristic cities, facing off against both advanced technologies and dangerous otherworldly creatures. Chronos: The New Dawn focuses on action-based combat set in an open-world environment. Similar to a Dead Space, I definitely got Dead Space Callisto Protocol characteristics in this game. I mean, just look at it. You got an over-the-shoulder camera view, And this game won't be as linear as you think. No. This game will feature an expansive open world that allows players to explore at their own pace. Side quests and hidden secrets will be scattered across the world, encouraging exploration and uncovering the mysteries of the game setting. The most intriguing aspect of Chronos is likely to be its time-based mechanic, potentially tied to manipulating time or uncovering the mystery of the past. This could offer players the ability to reverse time, slow down time, or even witness past events that shape the storyline. This mechanic would allow for puzzle solving, strategic combat, and possibly even time-altering abilities that affect the environment and enemies. Players will also be likely to be able to customize their protagonist through skill trees, augmentations, or weapon upgrades that fit their playstyle. Given the unique combination of sci-fi, mythology, and time manipulation, Chronos: The New Dawn is likely to appeal to fans who really enjoyed Dead Space or the Callisto Protocol. I mean, just by looking at it, I'm going to say it again. It looks just like it. Or inspired by it, let's just say that. What excites you more? The exploration of a mysterious world, or the idea of manipulating time and fate as part of the gameplay? So there you have it. 11 new sci-fi games that are coming this year and possibly 2026. You never know with all these delays going on. Everything from indie developers to AAA studios. There's a game for everybody here, and I really think if you're a fan of this genre, you're definitely going to have to make some room in your library. Now, I know all of these sci-fi games aren't for every sci-fi lover, but I'm sure there's one on here that you wouldn't mind trying. And of course, this isn't every sci-fi game that's coming out this year. I just got a couple of them that I thought looked interesting and would be something I'd definitely play. If there's any other sci-fi games that I missed, please feel free to leave it so others can see and myself can check it out. And speaking of checking out, check out this video here of 25 games that are coming this year, hopefully, that you should definitely play.